Okay, check it out, guys. Check it out.
Anytime you're ready.
Junkrat is an Overwatch hero that was implemented into Heroes of the Storm. When you die, this is his trait. Every hero has a trait. When you die, you drop 5 grenades that explode after 3/4 of a second. Each grenade deals 250 damage. How much is 250 damage? Not reduced, by the way. There's no magic resistance inherent in Heroes. If you take 250 damage, you take 250 damage. There's no armor and magic resist. So this is 1250 damage. Starting HP is between 1500 to 2200 for most heroes. So it's more than half of a hero's health. This scales roughly similarly as people's health. So you get, like, if they stand inside your death, they take more than half their health and damage. Okay, that's one. Then there is Frag Launcher. You get 4 charges of Frag Launcher on a 12-second cooldown. You must have half a second between firing the subsequent frag shell. You launch a grenade that explodes at the end of its path or upon hitting an enemy. Grenades can ricochet off of terrain, so you see terrain just like Hager. There's only a few heroes that can see terrain's outlines. 4 charges, and they recharge at the same time, the charges. I haven't seen this in Dota yet. I don't think Dota has this. That they all recharge at the same time. They will remain for a few seconds on their final location after ricocheting the max distance. And if you hit something, they explode instead. They will also explode upon expiration on anything that may be nearby. Has a small AoE. His basic auto attack is also a splash damage, without any talent or ability that actually leads to that being the case. It just is. It just has splash. 100% splash damage. Yeah, every skill of heroes can also damage towers. Correct. Correct.
Ladies and gentlemen,
almost everything. Almost
start
everything.
Your engines.
Ladies and gentlemen, start your engines. Grub room. Yeah, almost every hero ability can also hit buildings. So you can spam abilities to kill buildings. Concussive Mine. Place an indestructible mine on the ground. Tooltip can be better here. Junkrat's trait can be activated to detonate the mine, dealing 180 damage to nearby enemies and knocking them back. Junkrat can also be affected by Concussion Mine himself, but then he will take no damage. So you can use it as a rocket pad. Limit 1 active mine. Alright. Then Steel Trap. Place a trap on the ground that arms after 2 seconds. This is the Templar Assassin thing. Deals 130 damage to the first enemy that walks over it. This trap is also indestructible. You can literally put this shit out there on the map, both of these, and there's nothing they can do about it except see it and warn each other. Until I recast it. Even if I die, it's still gonna be there. Limit 1 active trap. And then Riptire is one of his ults. Create a motorized bomb that you can control, but Junkrat will be immobile and uncontrollable. So you control the bomb, and you drive over it. It's a tire. You can press it to detonate. When it hits, it has a big center damage and a smaller outer damage. It's overall quite a lot anyway. And it knocks them back. And his secondary ult is Rocket Ride. After 1 1/4 second, become a rocket and explode from above onto people. So he's very good on this map. Look, I put a trap here in the bushes. They know it's there, but they may forget. And it's gonna be there forever. Hey, we're against Marcy. See, he forgot that it was there. So he just got rooted. Murden seems to be a little scared. Nice. So Butcher is our solo laner. This map sees a 4-man rotational team. And then there is a... Hey! This map sees a 4-man rotational lane that goes between top and mid. Note how close the lanes are together, so it's a real bloodbath map. And then there's one solo laner. And what's funny is the solo laner just joined us, actually, for a kill. Now, our solo laner is called Butcher. He likes fresh meat just as much as Pudge. Yeah! But meat gives him bonus basic attack damage. And once he gets 200 meat, and he gets multiple instances of meat, once he gets 200 meat, he will gain a lot of extra attack speed. And that's when he comes online. Currently he's got 61 meat, which is pretty good for this phase in the game. They had lingering vision on me, so they were trying to get the hook on me. We had a couple of deaths. This guy's a real maniac. I love his energy. They're also 5-man. And their 5-man should be a little better until Butcher gets stacked. As a Tassadar player and enjoyer, I respect playing against Tassadars.
Grubby. On acid again, I just loved it. Have a great day, friend.
Huh. Right. So they just got the objective, which is paying 50 gems to the Weaver. But unlike on some maps, losing the objective doesn't mean you've lost it all. Our gem payments that we may have paid will be remembered for next time. So sometimes you can strategically give up first turn in of gems. This was not one of those times. Okay, let's defend mid.
It is over for now.
I should probably save my concussive more often to save allies, but sometimes allies do things that makes them feel unsavable. So we did pay 10 gems. We also still carry the gems that we hadn't paid or lost yet. If you die, you lose the gems you're holding. They can be picked up by an ally. We have a lot of poke, Azmodan and Junkrat, but in return we also have less single target damage. Butcher is meant to provide that for us. But he won't be able to unless he has 20 meat already. This is my Riptire. Okay, a lot of spells, no deaths. We're turning in, so we've got the turn in, that's nice. No Mercamps taken by us whatsoever. That was a friendly hook. We don't have anyone bot. That's possible. We do a 5-man. That's a nice engage. Muradin set that up. Muradin Stormbolt set that up real nicely. And I saved my W to actually follow up. Just messing with them, you know. Stitches is kind of a late bloomer, he's stronger later, especially level 13 plus, where he gets automatic hook range extension. Never laugh at early game losing Stitches, because from 13 to 20 it's going to be a lot harder. They only have to be right twice a game while sucking all game in order to win the game, because then they get a pick off and then team gets tilted, because it's like, just don't get hooked.
What do we have here?
Oh, see? That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Just don't get hooked. Ah! Let's see. Butcher has 194 meat. This is incredible. He has not... He's only died once and he's almost stacked. Butcher has 2 power spikes. One is when he reaches level 20 and he gets AoE, basically Enigma's Black Hole. An AoE, well, it's more like Disruptor, Aghanim Shard, Fence plus ult. Everyone is leashed, like Slark's leash, and everyone is silenced. That's a Butcher ult. I mean, it's a small area, a small circle. An AoE, silence, and leash. Okay. That's a 1 power spike from Butcher too. He has bunker, he has bunker. Nice. Butcher already stacked. I just did a lot of damage to Raynor. They did get bottom fort. Now the funny thing is, Butcher just reached his stacks. 200 stacks are required. I think I'm offlane now. But he can still gain meat. Normally he gets like 20 or 25 meat per kill. He can still get... He can no longer pick up meat from creeps and lane minions. Normally he could, but now not anymore. But every hero kill still gives him 10 meat for permanent bonus attack damage. So you'll notice he's at 210. That means he got 1 hero kill and he was near enough to pick up the meat after He killed them. I should also remind you that Hook on enemies travels over allied heroes and creeps. So if you think you're safe hiding behind their creeps, you're not. Which is why I often hit my hook on an ally in Dota. It's a bad time to die. Shit. The equivalent of a sniper melee ult. Their bruiser camp completely disabled our push. Our turn-in did nothing because of Muradin's death and their bruiser camp. No point going bot. Nice.
Nice follow through.
Careful for hooks from here.
You know, it's so cool when they explode like that.
Muradin's slightly at risk, I would say. Ah, it's Rhaegar instead. That's what I'm talking about. We get a whole fort during it. Not too bad. Right? Almost a whole fort. Good idea, but I'm out of position to follow up. That was a good idea. They actually have enough gems to turn in. And they are paying. Thank you for the subs, guys. Appreciate it. A lot of yikes moments there.
Your destruction is at hand.
They're just going for top fort and that's about it. Let's go and defend. Give up the outer fort.
Our fort was destroyed.
Oh, that's a good spot.
I saw that, Stitches. Nice. We can probably, yeah, we could do boss now. He walked into the trap, he didn't see it. I have cannonball now. My balls are now bigger. Both of my balls. Both my auto attack ball and my frag launcher ball.
Your Dota 2 content made me return to it after 5 years break. Are you watching the international?
Yes. The last chance qualifiers maybe not as closely as I'll be watching the main event.
My power shall aid.
When they explode like that.
Oh, my balls are so big. They're flying right into their face. Nice. Maybe we win here. Nice.
Oh man, you took out all 5. That is so awesome.
If if a win started with the word T, then this T is in the bag. GG.
We did it.
Nice, nice. We won with Butcher. Carry punch, support punch. How many Butcher stacks? Oh, you can't see it anymore. Yeah. The post-game analytics leaves a lot to be desired in Hans. You can't see how many stacks he had. And you cannot jump to the end of the replay either. On the upside of Hans compared to Dota, you can immediately start watching a replay.
You seek me help?
I feel like Stitch's multi-nom-noms usually aren't as effective as other level 20.
Yep.
Thoughts?
Yeah, it's a balls to the wall kind of talent. Poo a lot. So you basically either go, yeah, you mostly only go for mass eating Stitch's level 20 upgrade if you have to make a Hail Mary play. The other level 20 Stitches are so good. Especially the hook talent is really, really good. Especially the hook talent into Rhaegar. So let me tell you guys the 3 options Stitches had this game. He could go for Master Hooker, which as a Dutch person I really like. It is a 100% anti-healing debuff. If you hook an enemy, they cannot be healed for several seconds by anything. No health regen, no globes, no fountain, no Rhaegar healing, and most of all, no Rhaegar ancestral healing. And all of that cannot affect the target, so it's a really good pick-off tool. You don't even need to gorge anymore after you master hook someone. The second option he has is, I believe it's called Fleabag, or maybe it has a different name, but it makes him be able to use the trait that he already has on a, he has a trait on a what cooldown? 60-second cooldown. It makes him able to use Shambling Horror, Gas Bag. First of all, yeah, Shambling Horror is a movement speed increase and the inability to be slowed by anyone. You get 10% move speed and you cannot be slowed. Right? And that gets put on a 40-second cooldown instead of 60. And now, it's not just he can't be slowed, He cannot be stunned, rooted, silenced. Which is quite strong. But mostly you should go Master Hooker, which is a cooldown reduction on your hook. Oh, 75% reduced healing, not 100%. And when you hook an ally with Helping Hand, they are unkillable for 2 seconds. Their health cannot drop below 1. Instead, he went for this, which is a Hail Mary play. For 4 seconds after using Gorge, Stitches can teleport a short distance to additional targets and gorge them also. Enemies are slowed by 75% for a second after Gorge ends. But they come out like they went in. Which means if you eat with 1 second delay, they come out with 1 second delay. So you cannot 100% like follow up your big wombo combo on his puke. They come out one by one. This is a Hail Mary play, and it actually worked really well for us on Brax's Holdout 2 games ago. But maybe it was not the right call for him? I don't know. My team had a pretty strong opinion on the fact that Stitches lost them the game with the Gorge. But he also made plays, right? He hooked and killed me once. He got Murden, Rhaegar a couple of times, Azmodan once. So, yeah, it is what it is. How long will it take me to learn HOTS if I start playing the game now for a new player? Well, first let me finish showing the replay system. You can only go at maximum 8 times speed, and notice how laggy the game gets at 8 times.
Ooh, a double kill.
This is one of HOTS' weakest UI problems. Let me turn down the game sound. It's super laggy at 8 times. This is because HOTS originally was started to be made as a custom map in StarCraft 2 and was slowly branched out with a more customized engine. Both StarCraft 2 and Heroes of the Storm run on a single core of your CPU. And I don't know if it's an optimization problem after that or if that's just doomed by the single core. I feel like there's an optimization problem as well. Cannot even run 8 times speed. 4 times, kind of okay. I still feel some lag, some screen edge panning lag. 2 times is the only comfortable speed to watch HOTS replays at. That also means that you cannot get to the end quickly, because it has to calculate everything. On the upside, Blizzard replays are tiny. We're talking kilobytes, not megabytes. But on the downside, that is because it is kind of like an organ. Do you know the music instrument on fun fairs, the organ, where they put the punch paper through a machine and it reads the holes and that's how it makes the sound? Just like in Westworld, season 1 and even 2, where the piano plays. That kind of punch paper, that's how replays work in HOTS. It's slowly filling in all the actions that every player did, rather than making any kind of video storage. There's no video format. That's called a player piano, just FYI. Really? Oh, a player piano. Okay, cool. In Dutch, it's called orgel. O-R-G-E-L, orgel. Which kind of sounds like you're hacking up a cuff from the back of your throat. Have you seen that orgel? Makes terrible music. Anyway, if you want to go to the end of the replay, it just blackens the screen, attempts to play it at 8 times speed. If you get your stopwatch out, I think you'll find it's a little below 8 times. And just permutates everything that happened. So if you've played like a 1-hour game, you have to wait like 10 minutes to get to the end if you wanted to see that one fight again. So that's kind of too bad. So this is not ideal. This is why when you see me come to Dota 2, I'm like, oh my god, the replay system is so good. The customization in the replay system, the extra observer UI, etc, etc, etc. And sadly, this is something Blizzard just never really wanted to or could improve, even though the game is so much fun. You can see like HOTS is quite chill. I was able to talk the whole game while still playing pretty okay. It's a fun, chill game that you can play with friends. Many people that play HOTS, they still do so because, first of all, they don't hate themselves and they don't hate the game. Sometimes people play MOBA just because they're addicted. But people play HOTS generally because it's just a fun game to play with friends and family. It's a simpler MOBA that still has some depths, and the characters are a lot of fun to play around with. Okay, so let's look at that Stitches moment again. Thanks for the sub, Pooh, a lot. Okay, let's look at the final fight. My allies alleged that they lost the game because of the Stitches eat. But I'd argue we're in a really good spot regardless, right? We are all full health and mana. Junkrat doesn't have mana. He just has frag launcher charges. It's another difference Hearts has to Dota. In Dota, everyone has a mana pool and everyone should make sure to manage their mana pool. When your mana runs empty, you cannot be as active on the map farming and team fighting. But in Heroes of the Storm, some heroes simply don't have a mana pool, or they have a mana pool that's practically irrelevant with how forgiving it is. Therefore, a HOTS player that switches to Dota may quickly find themselves running into mana issues as they are used to just spamming their buttons like a 7-year-old plays Street Fighter on the arcade with his brother. So, yeah. I don't know which button I just pressed, but I must have pressed forward twice. So now the game almost crashed. So let's take a look again at the Gorge moment. I'd argue we're like in a good, oddly specific. Yeah, that is actually a true story. You've cut right through the heart of the matter. My brother and I used to go to the arcade in Spain when our family went on vacation there. We would play Street Fighter against each other. And it was actually a hacked machine. And all the characters were hacked and too powerful. So I found this guy, Honda. He was able to do this, but he could do it like infinitely. You just had to like press one button and he would do it. And I would beat my brother over and over and over the whole vacation long. He asked me to play a different character, but I thought, why would I change character?
I've been following you since the 4K days. I'm a fellow 36 years old.
No, I'm not 36.
One of my Fav esports players for sure.
I'm younger than that. Thanks, man. Anyway, as I was saying, I was playing on the arcade. I guess the arcade story kind of dated me already, so what's the point in denying? Anyway, he asked if I could play a different character. And I said, why would I? You know, it's working so well. So I kept winning, and he kept putting in 1 dinero or 1 peso, 100 pesos coin, 100 pesos coin. There were these weighty, golden, heavy coins, very thick, that we would exchange for our hard-earned pocket money. So yeah, I was constantly winning, and then finally he found a way to jump over my Honda move with Chun-Li and kick me in the face and interrupt the combo and win. Because he was like a better player in general, but I just had this spam skill combo. And then when he finally won, I didn't want to play anymore. So anyway, let's see what happened here in this fight. I'd argue we're quite far ahead in general anyway. Because first of all, Junkrat and Azmodan, me and my wife, have already been softening up Raynor. Note how you see these glyphs around him, these effects. That's him activating his self-heal, right? This is their healer, Tyrande. She can heal more the more often she hits enemies with anything. Basic attacks, spells, her stun, her owl, anything that she hits enemies with, she's going to be able to give more heals. Otherwise, she just has the 2 heals every, I don't know, 16 seconds or so. Let's see how much it actually is. Cooldown, yeah, 16 seconds. 2 heals every 16 seconds. So note how it's going to be way too risky for her to interact with enemy heroes, besides with her Sentinel, which is a 15-second cooldown that she already used. So Raynor is like not fight ready. We have the Web Weaver pushing, which is the objective. Our boss just got destroyed, which took their keep to 20% health. And we still have a full HP, nearly full. Web Weaver pushing the mid lane, which we earned from paying the objective gems. And then we have another Web Weaver pushing in the bottom lane. Actually, no, it's almost dead. Okay. So this one is pretty much going to take down their wall and do some keep damage. They will lose top keep. This Web Weaver is full health. They're going to lose top keep. The correct play for them would be to fall back to their core. Raynor needs a heal. Stitches needs a heal, right? They're both not full. We're all full. So any fight that starts now, not ideal. I did use my ult. Azmodan used the ult. Butcher's going to get his back. Tyrande has no ult, right? So it's pretty even on terms of cooldowns, but they're kind of hurt. The correct way for them to play is to concede this keep, except it is going to die, unless they can take a favorable fight. Stitches missed his hook just now. It's on the full cooldown. When you have Stitches, you need to play entirely around the hook cooldown. What is his talent build, by the way? Oh, he did take 2 hook cooldowns, but then... Oh, yeah, okay. He took 2 hook talents, but not the final one. They should now fall back, heal up, defend their core against the remainder of the Web Weaver, while 1 or 2 players from this angle defend the mid Web Weaver so that they don't lose their entire wall. Instead, Stitches wanted to make a play. In HOTS, you can actually not slow-mo the fight. In Warcraft 3 you can, in Dota 2 you can, but in HOTS, normal game speed is the lowest you can go. So we cannot actually watch this slowly. But Stitches is going to walk forward. He's going to gorge someone with his ult, even though he has no other cooldowns available. And then he's going to eat them all. And the question always is, what do you expect is going to happen after you eat them all? He can actually make short little teleports to eat the next target, maybe 300 range. And then the Tassadar and the Blaze are going to have to follow up with big AoE damage to try and blow us all up. But they don't have Starfall. Starfall is 200 DPS and a slow. It also gives Tyrande massive healing cooldown reduction because guess what? All those little Starfall damages in the AoE that she casts are going to give her CDR. Note how I explained that Tyrande's healing works. So he's now going to start eating. He eats Muradin, then he gets stunned by Butcher. Butcher and Rhaegar instantly respond. They saw the telegraphed movement of Stitches walking forward, wanting to make a play, so they instantly responded. They both did damage on him. He dropped from 80% to 40%. Then Blaze is trying to follow up on the Rhaegar and the Butcher, but Butcher and Rhaegar very cleverly immediately try to walk away, which means that Blaze is going to miss his stun. But Blaze didn't just miss his stun because they walked away. He also missed it because Stitches ate everyone. Blaze thought he was going to eat the tank and then create space to attack the Rhaegar. Rhaegar came in for a peel, for a bite, for a punish. Blaze's stun would have hit Rhaegar if he hadn't also eaten Rhaegar. If Rhaegar had been stunned right there, he's probably gonna die because this black hole also came in from Tassadar to do an AoE damage and stun. Raynor was ready to hit as well. He's currently not being looked at because, you know, everyone is thinking about the frontline fight. So all these extra gorges did now make Blaze miss his stun, Tassadar miss his stun. Now they literally have nothing left. So the correct thing now, if you were to write this out in paper, would be for Stitches to eat everyone and then just walk away and tell everyone, fall back, we failed our engage. So my allies was actually completely right that Gorge ruined it for them. He just ate 4 people, okay, but now what? Rhaegar Ancestral comes out, we get the double heal. Everyone is full, they were safe in Stitches' belly. He saved all of us. Raynor played this, you know, about as best as he could, though Raynor Stitches are a bad combo in general in terms of the draft. I don't think Blaze played it wrong. I don't think Tassadar played it wrong. That's a Stitches loss right there. But it's easy when it gets hectic to make the wrong play, and I don't blame, you know, Stitches for it. Maybe the talent is not the best pick at level 20, but he thought he wanted to do what he could do. He was definitely not griefing, and that's just the kind of lack of communication problems that happens often when you play in pubs.
Have destroyed a keep.
Meat stacks. Oh, I forgot to look again. I can still go back. Can I?
The infidels have.
The infidels. I bet it's like 260. Oh, 300. 300 damage. 300 extra damage. 275 extra damage, actually.
Well.